Alright, so I'm Calabos. This is me attempting to record a YouTube video first time. I'm sure lots of people have tried to do it at some point or another. So I've just created a new Towncraft world. This is actually my first attempt at this. Many strange things keep happening, but I'm almost certain I've got it right this time. Almost. Possibly. This promises to be a very interesting game as far as if you look right over here, you'll notice that I spawned in a dungeon, like a vanilla Minecraft dungeon. So that is a spawner, and if I'm very fast, I should be able to switch to torches or something rapidly and hopefully keep it from killing me a lot. So wish me luck. Watch me panic. Fortunately, you're a skeleton and you like to run away. Anyway, let's see if there's spawnable locations for this. Now, this was a fortuitous accident, I guess. Not fortuitous enough. You'll notice over there this is the archway that you start with. When you start in this mod pack, as I said, it's called Towncraft. Oh, they must. The problem is sometimes there are corner spots which are very awkward. So he's not spawning in the room per se, which is kind of a problem for me. So let's see if there's a way that I can fix this nonsense. So that's not where he's spawning. I may simply have to break the spawner, but I don't want to. They could also be spawning in the air, which would be very awkward and stuff. Spawn skeleton spawner. Watch me, my inability to type. So, chests, sweet. I don't know. I've got F7 on, so I should be able to see most of the spawning locations. If possible, I'd like to keep this because, you know, it'd be very helpful to have all of the things. You'll notice up in the corner, I have just enough buttons on. I've added it into the pack. I also am using vein miner because I do not like beetroot seeds. That's very useful, actually. I don't like ore excavation. It doesn't sit well with my control arrangement and things, and typically gives me problems. So I've switched to vein miner. Okay, skeletons are not spawning in, so it's probably safe for the moment. This pack is done by Prospercraft. I have made a couple of minor changes, as I said. I've got just enough buttons. I've got vein miner instead of ore excavation. I found in on the curse, somebody recommended putting in a recipe helper, basically, because some of the recipes are not available as far as they interfere with each other. So, for example, the Better Builders wands. There are Better Builder wands, and the recipe conflicts with the Mine Colonies wands, which, you do actually need later. Now, you can build a Mine Colony wands. The ones that you can't make are, in fact, the Better Builder ones. At least you can't make... Oh, look, I'm being shot at. Awkward. Very awkward. There's another one. I think he saw me. So, many people are very excited about making a mad dash for the surface. That is not, in fact, the way that I am planning on doing this. Oh, I've leveled up. How very handy. And it is handy because as you see, I have mining assist. I believe that makes my mining speed slightly faster. Let's do some quests really quick. So I have this hotkey to my my home key because I use the tilde, or grave as some people call it, for the purposes of vein miner. So, beginning of all things, that would be wood, that would be planks, torches. We need 16. I'm actually going to throw down for a stack of them because torches and caves and things, which mysteriously gives me more torches and an additional chest. Seeds. Now, if I were going to the surface, seeds would actually be fairly easy. It's slightly harder the way that I'm planning on doing it, but not actually that much harder. Look, I now have a crafting table. It gives me planks, which is good. I'm actually going to have to be relatively sparing of my wood for the moment, as I don't have a lot of it. If I can get my hands on some string from spiders, enough to make a wool block anyway, and some red dye, I should actually be able to trade emeralds for trees and cotton. Which, is helpful. Steak. So, one of the things about better questing is you have to make sure that you do your quests in order, or you will not get credit for them. Now, I like the fact that it gives you vines, but they're actually not strictly necessary. At least I have not yet found them to be. Because I'm going to use the wood just to be more efficient about my resources. There's a furnace. I'm going to keep checking that probably because I'm a skeleton spawner, and that makes me nervous. Eventually I will reduce this to, you know, a room for just the spawner, and I'll set up some sort of like grinder or whatnot, just so that I don't have to do everything, and I'll move my living quarters somewhere else. Holding onto those wheat because I believe that I have a quest for them later. So that's seeds, and that's still closed. So what I need to do is I need to find some randomite, which is a kind of purple looking ore. And most of the time, many people think that apatite is kind of useless, and you know, to a certain extent it is. Need a better pick than that. I have to admit I don't terribly do a lot in forestry. That may change. Look, I've got XP. We'll see how it goes. I don't have any specific plans other than just to make a good-sized area for, you know, the base, safety, security, you know, a quiet place to lay my head so that I do not become in fact dead. I've lit up most of this now, so I should be relatively safe. Just throw a little torch up there. Okay, appetite is going to eat all of my space. As I said, mostly I don't do very much with forestry, but in this case, since normally I wouldn't have access to, you know, bone meal on demand, you know, it can really speed up the process of having, you know, food or wood or whatever. So I've got ore. Wrong sack. Alright. Quests back. So I need 24 iron. I'm having more cooking. That's fine. So I'm not especially worried about running out of iron. Honestly, the real goal is there's a lot of iron around, and I'm attempting to mine enough to raise my mining level there, which is greatly aided by Vein Miner. So that gave me lapis, string, and a duskberry. Trashing the duskberry. I have no clue if they're useful, but you know, I've ended up with a lot of them. Oh, he's got a gun. My sad parkour skills. Try not to laugh too hard. Now here's a weird thing that I've noticed about this pack. It's probably specifically the Caverns II mod. Okay, I moved up in rank on that. But the drops from some of the ore patches or the miners or something like that, they don't stack. They appear to have all of the same stats, but the NBT data must be different. Great success. I suspect that that indicates that I've gotten extra of it. Maybe it like randomly bumps fortune. Who knows? Ah, there you go. So I now have my first oak sapling, and that should mean that once I clear enough space, I should have as much wood as I need. So let's do that. Need a miner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a 7x7. I think that's the area that the spawner works in, is 7x7. But I'm not specifically sure. So what I'm going to try and do is leave that intact, and then build my base off of this way. So what I am most familiar with is, as far as some of the mods in here, like this up really quick. So immersive engineering is in. I'm halfway decent with that. You know, I don't fail too badly anyway. Mechanism is in there. I can do the basics of mechanism, but that's a little bit further on in the pack. I've got to get to some of the other worlds. So I'll probably start with immersive engineering, and just start getting a tech base going. It'll be a little bit complicated because I don't have hemp, which would honestly make my life easier. But I'll just have to luck into it with randomite. But I can at least start. Can I make a water wheel later? Water wheel, steel, treated wood. So treated wood shouldn't be too much of a problem. So blast furnace. Nope, that is not how you spell blast. Blast furnace. So nether bricks, I have gotten those randomly from randomite, which makes sense from the name. Otherwise, I can attempt to get to the nether. As well, I have gotten refined iron and steel and such from random things. So I'm hoping that I should just be able to, like, kind of move into it sideways as far as getting the bits and pieces I need to get functioning. Because once I have a blast furnace, I should be able to make things. Steel. Once I have steel, there are other ways to get steel which are faster. IC2 comes to mind off the top of my head. I'm not terribly great with IC2, and you can take that to mean I blow things up a lot. Mostly, and a lot. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't die. Let's see, I think it needs 6. Oak trees can be grown at 5, but I think that they 6 is like it's more likely to succeed if I give it 6 high. Now we're about to discover whether that spawner works outside this wall. Now I do rather miss Tinker's, at least the ability to clear sections at a time. Now I'm not so fond of diorite, so here's a neat trick in case you cared. Ta-da! No diorite. As far as I'm aware, you can do the same thing with granite because it all or dictionaries as stone, which is why if you look at recipes that require stone, say the I can't remember off the top of my head, but so like compressor requires basically, granite. Coffee mug. These are not changing. Let me check. Diorite. Maybe I'm just looking it up wrong. Oh yeah, see the compressor, same recipe. It just requires any stone. So if I go to the recipe, just it cycles through. So all the stone and polished stone is basically or dictionary together. So you should just be able to switch it out as necessary. I have no clue what that AZX quest is, but it keeps showing up. I've looked through the book a couple of times. No idea. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a lot of gravel up there. That's good to know. Now I'm a little familiar with Caverns II. I'm not a lot familiar with it. I know that there are basically 7 worlds. I've managed to get to like 2 or 3 of them. I did find a Caverns II library once with the books. It actually had like a bunch of bookshelves. But I've only seen it once, and very foolishly I broke all the bookshelves without trying to figure out how to use them. And I didn't get anything except vanilla books from the drops, so I don't know, I screwed that up, I guess. My gosh, the most exciting thing ever. Watching me break rocks with another rock on a stick. But once we get some technology going, we should be able to hopefully make some very fancy drills. I've actually been playing Minecraft for quite a while, and I've played modern Minecraft for quite a while, but I will admit I generally cheese things out. As far as that goes, I'm kind of a lazy player. See, I'm not as worried about using up all my wood anymore because I've got trees I'm about to plant. No, that recipe is not there. So we'll go 1 more chest, 2 chests, 3 chests, 4, 5 chests. So we'll do something fancier later, I suppose. It involves storage. For the moment, that organize this chest. Dirt. Nope. Dirt. I have 9 string. So I need 3 more string and I can make a bed, which will be very handy. So that will totally be a thing. Yeah, see the coal doesn't stack. However, if you take your individual piece and you craft it into whatever, then, you know, craft it or uncraft it, it resets it, so then it'll stack, so that's pretty handy. Right. So, thing to be aware of, magnite and magnetite are 2 different things. Magnetite is from Future Pack, obviously, and magnite is from Cavern 2. Magnetite is basically iron, but unlike an iron ore, if you smelt an iron ore, you get a single iron ingot. If you smelt magnetite, you get 4 iron ingots. If you break down magnetite ore with some sort of processing, you'll actually get, so like you would get 2 iron ore, you'd get, 2 magnetite dust, which will give you, 4 each of the iron ingots. So it's a great source of iron. So don't sweat your early game iron. It's not going to be a problem. Oh yeah, I went over there for mining tools. So we're probably going to call it about the time I get my first tree. Now I'm going to be hopefully playing some more. And if you see this, it means that A, you found my channel, which would be weird and amazing, I guess. And B, I managed to get it up on the channel successfully, which would be quite impressive, as I've never done it before. But we are almost there. I think that it's good in a 5x5 area. So that's, what, 6 and 7? I know that not being even messes with people. Sometimes it messes with me, sometimes not. But we'll make it a 7x7. Um, and because that will at least give us the possibility of a slightly larger tree. So what I will probably do is 1, 2, 3, 4 should be there. 2, sure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's probably just fine. All right. So bone meal. We have some bone meal. Let's see if this magic works. There we go. All right. I know I don't have like a sign in or sign out or any of that shiny bit. Maybe that will come in the future as I get a little bit better. You know, more confidence, figure out what I'm doing, that sort of crazy thing. So we'll close it here, and I'll catch you guys next time.